Before we go over what we're learning today, are there any questions from the homework you would like me to go over? Which one? 20? Okay. Okay, number 20. The first thing you need to do is look at the left side. 20 minus p. Can you combine a 20 and a p? No, so just bring it down. Now look at the right side. Is there anything you can do over here? You can distribute. Negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. Negative 4 times 4p is negative 16p. And then you just drop the plus 3p. Why do you not distribute the negative 4 to it? Correct. Now, is there anything else we can do on this side? Right. The negative 16 and the 3 both have a p to the first beside them. So they can be combined to what p? Negative 13p. And then on the left, you still have 20 minus p. Now that each side is simplified, now we can start moving things to the opposite side of the problem. Where do we like our variable to end up at the end of the problem? So doesn't that mean we should add this 13p on both sides? It'll cancel out over there because negative 13p plus 13p is 0. And now on the left side, I have a 20. No, because that's the negative one. So plus 12p. Okay, now, if we like our variables on the left, doesn't that mean the constants, the regular numbers, need to be on the right? So in that case, what would need to be moved to the right? The 20. The negative 4 is already on the right, so the 20 would need to be moved. And so how would you move it? Correct. You're going to subtract 20 on both sides. And right, you get 12p is greater than or equal to negative 24. Now what do we do on both sides? Divide by 12. And so p is greater than or equal to negative 2. Alright, so we circle negative 2. And it is closed because of that equal to bar. That means negative 2 is... That means that negative 2 is actually one of the solutions. Like if you plug negative 2 in every single p up there and worked it all out, it would make a true statement. Okay? Also, what else are solutions besides negative 2? Anything greater than that, which is to the right. Numbers like negative 1, 0, 1, all the way to infinity. So now let's write our interval notation to represent that. What is your lowest solution? Right, because it's included. And then you go forever to the right. Correct. Okay, what other problems would you like to go over? Okay. Number 8. Let me erase it where I did it earlier. Okay, number 8. We have x divided by 8 is less than or equal to negative 6. What do I need to do to isolate that x? Multiply by 8 on both sides. Okay? When I multiply by 8 on the left, it cancels out because 8 over 8 is 1. And is there a need to write the 1 beside the x? No. And then on the right side, it becomes what? Negative 48. Okay, so now I circle where the negative 48 is on the number line. Is it opened or closed? Closed, because you have the equal to bar. So that means one of the solutions is negative 48. Watch. What's negative 48 divided by 8? Negative 6. So if I write that down, is that a true statement? Negative 6 is less than or equal to negative 6? Yes. That's why that's one of the solutions, because it actually makes a true statement. What other numbers would make true statements? Anything less than negative 48, which is which way? To the left of it. Okay, now for the interval notation, what is your lowest solution? Negative infinity though, because it's left forever. And then what's your highest? Bracket or parenthesis? Bracket, because it actually is one of the solutions. Okay, other questions? 12? Okay, number 12. The left side, we just have a negative 5, so there's nothing you can do there. On the right side, what can you do?
You can combine like 3.
Right, a negative 3 plus 3 is 0, so just cross them out, and all you're left with is negative 5a. Now what do I do? Divide by negative 5 on both sides. Those cancel. Since you divided by a negative number, this sign is going to be flipped the other way. And then negative 5 over negative 5 is positive 1. Now, you know how normally we can look at our sign and know which way to draw our arrow? Does that work for this one? Well, right, it can, but you have to pay attention. Just because the sign is pointing left does not mean we're going to draw left, because think about it. If I rewrote this and put the A on the left side and the 1 on the right, and still ate the A, now look which way the sign is pointing. So I circle 1. Is it opened or closed? Open, because there's no equal to bar, so 1 is not actually a solution. Okay, it would not work. But everything greater than 1 is. Okay, so where do your solutions start? 1, but is 1 actually a solution? No, so parentheses. And then how high do your solutions go? Infinity. Okay? Infinity always has a parenthesis. The reason the 1 does this time is because there's no equal to bar. Yes?
Okay, why is negative 5 divided by negative 5?
Any number divided by itself is 1.
Oh, I thought it was 0. My bad.
Yeah, no, any number divided by itself is 1. I mean, think about it like this. If you take 5 people and divide them like 5 ways, doesn't that just put 1 person in each group?
Yeah.
Okay, what was the other one, 16? Okay, is there anything I can do on the left side? Can I actually combine that negative 7 and negative 3k? No. Can I do anything on the right side? What can I do? Distribute. Negative 7 times k is negative 7k, and negative 7 times 5 is negative 35. Now that each side is simplified, now I can start moving stuff across. Where do I want my letters, my variables? Right, so that means I need to do what? Add the 7k. Because if I want my variables on the left, this k needs to go to the left side of the problem, right? And for it to move, you got to add it. And then I add it over here. Okay, it cancels over there, leaving just that negative 35. And on the left side, I now have a negative 7 plus 4k, right? Okay, now what do I need to do? Add the 7 on both sides. And so 4k is greater than or equal to what? Negative 28. And now what do I do? Divide by 4, so k is greater than or equal to
Negative 7.
Do I flip the sign since I divided with a negative 28?
Yes.
No.
No.
You only flip the sign. That was a trick question. You only flip it when the number you're dividing by is negative. Like it would have had to have been the 4 that was negative. So you circle the negative 7. Is it open or closed? Closed, because there's an equal to bar, and then all the solutions are either negative 7 or greater, which is to the right. Okay, now let's do the interval notation. Where's your lowest solution? And it's actually a solution. So you put a bracket and then infinity. Okay, turn to the next page. Today we're going to be solving literal equations. They give you an equation like 7 times t equals x, and they tell you which letter to solve it for. Solving for the letter just means getting the letter by itself, right? So to get this t by itself, who needs to go away from it? And aren't they attached by multiplication? So how do you undo that? Division. So t equals x over 7. Is t by itself?
Yeah.
Then you're done. That's the answer. It's that easy.
I'm going to be in that sentence.
Okay, number 2. Number 2. R equals W times P, solve for P. That means we need to get P by itself, so who needs to move? How do you move it? Divide by W. So that leaves R over W equal to P. P's by itself, so you're done.
I understand.
I understand, yeah.
Y'all understand it. You all understand.
Yeah, but it's just
Yes.
number 3. Wait,
Oh, wait, I
so
think.
when you add R, it's so simple that it's making
Okay, let's get to it. Let's get to number 3. We're trying to solve for R. Pay attention, they're getting a little different. We're trying to solve for R, but look, we have R here and an R here. Isn't this a negative 1R and that's a positive 1R? So let's combine them to the same side. I'm going to add this 1R over here. It'll cancel over there, and now I have Q equals 2R. So now to isolate the R, what do I have to do? Divide by 2 on both sides. So Q divided by 2 equals R, and I'm done. I solved for R. Okay, number 4. I'm trying to solve for M. So what do you think I should do? Subtract 4M.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, because look, y'all, here's an M and here's an M. Shouldn't they be together? I can't move this one to that one because it would leave this side empty. I cannot subtract the M because wouldn't that leave this side of the equation blank? And you can't do that. So instead, I'm going to subtract the 4M over to here. They cancel out on that side, leaving a negative T. And on this side, a 1M minus 4M becomes a negative 3M. Now to solve for M, what do I do? Divide by negative 3 on both sides. Those cancel out, leaving M equals negative T over negative 3. A negative over negative is a positive. So the signs just go to positive. Why don't you take a second and try 5 and 6. Okay, let's look at this one. Let's look at this one. Okay, pay attention because some people are still a little confused. No, I'm trying to solve for A. Okay, well the first thing I should probably do before I try to solve for it is get all the A's together on one side. Here's a 15A, but I can't move it because it would leave this side empty if I tried to move it. So instead, I'm going to move 7A over to it. It's a positive 7A, so I need to subtract 7A. Cancel it out over there and then subtract it over here. Now I have negative 1B, because that's an understood 1, equal to 8A. Now to get B by, or actually I'm solving for A, so I need to divide by 8 on both sides. Those cancel, so doesn't A just equal negative 1B over 8? Okay, let's look at number 6. You're trying to solve for C. For 6. We're trying to solve for C. Well, I see one right there, and I see one right there, so maybe we should get them on the same side. I need to move the 5C over there, right? Well, since it's a negative 5C, I'm going to add it. What's negative 5C plus 5C? Negative 5C plus 5C? 0C. Do I need to write 0C? No. So I can just write the D on this side. Because I don't need to write 0C plus D. I just cancel them out. But if I add 5C to this side, I have to add 5C to this side, which becomes how many C's? Now to solve for C, what needs to go away from it? So divide by 7 on both sides, and you get D over 7 equals C. Now, if you wrote C equals D over 7, it's the same thing. It doesn't matter what order you write the answer in. Number 7. X minus 2y equals 1. Solve for y. To get this y by itself, what all needs to move away from it? The 2 and the x. What moves first? The x. The things that are further away, remember. Remember, if y stinks and everybody's trying to run away from him, can't the things that are further away sneak away first? Well, what kind of x is that? So you subtract it on both sides. Those cancel each other out, leaving just negative 2y on this side. And on this side, can you actually subtract the x from the 1? No, they're unlike terms. 1 is a constant, x is a variable. You can't combine them, so you just write them separate like that. Now to solve for y, what do we need to do? The negative 2 is being multiplied by y. Divide by negative 2. So y equals 1 minus x over negative 2. Okay, try number 8. Number 8, to get everything away from the end, what do we move first away from n? Right, since it's a positive d, you subtract it. Now on this side, all that's left is 3n. On the right side, you can't actually subtract 1 minus d. Right. Now to solve for n, what do you do on both sides? Divide by 3. So n equals 1 minus d over 3. Number 9, to solve for f, what needs to move away from f first? 7 is closer. G can sneak away by subtracting away. So now 7f equals 5 minus g. And now to solve, Now to solve for f, what do? Divide by 7. So f equals, right. Okay, why don't you go ahead and try 10 through 14 in the video on. You're trying to get x by itself. That means this x, Brandon, needs to stay right where it is, and the a and the c need to move over here with the b. Which one moves away from the x first, a or c? C. Remember, guys, remember what we learned about the party and how x stinks, so everybody's trying to get away from it? Which one can sneak away easier, a or c? Stop. C. How does it sneak away? You add it. Okay. So on this side, negative c plus c cancels, leaving just the ax. On this side, you have b plus c. Now to solve for x, what needs to go away from it?